Hello and welcome everybody to the newest installment, number 12 of A Murder of Crows. In the last session, the heroines freed Rhiannon, the second of the Sisters Four, and they've also learned that San Sebastian is under attack from the vampire brood, and they have had a little bit of a debate as to whether they are going to go to San Sebastian and try and help, or if they steer the course and try to free the last two remaining sisters, because this could well be a decoy, a way to distract them from their actual first part of the mission, which is to free the four sisters. And they've decided to steer the course. And Rhiannon has told them that she can transport them to one place, but one place only. And so they've decided to try and find the next sister. Her name is Arethusa, and she is the sister of the waters and of the wells. And first of all, you take a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is restored. So let's see. Bam. All hit dice are restored.
Full. The wand now is then full as well. Spells are back. This is a nice
Looks
thing
a lot
to see.
better.
Mm-hmm.
And whoops. Having a slight falling out with Windows. Do not do this. Thank you. And then you basically get transported to a really lovely grove in a really lovely forest, and in the middle of it is a pond. And around that pond, you see several frogs. They're going ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Darling finds that very interesting and tries to get out of the backpack.
I will not stop her. I will probably even help her get her out and just set her down.
She
just don't jump in the well.
She approaches. She flattens herself against the ground as cats want to do, and she is trying to hunt one of those frogs. Uruto says, "Milady, what are we supposed to do here?"
I honestly don't know. And I will walk over to the well and have a peek, just looking in and seeing, just having a look down.
As you approach, the frogs turn to you as one, and they grow in size. It's like they're basically pumping themselves full of air, and like, you know, their neck sacs are beginning to fill with air. And they're making this movement, and they grow in size until they're about a meter or so tall.
Okay, I will just call to Darling. Sweetheart?
The first frog launches its tongue. Roll a d20.
If it eats the cat, we will have a problem. It will die. A d20. Let me see. Let's give roll 20 the chance to work. Yes, a 14.
Okay. She's a cat, so she has plenty of dex. She jumps out of the way and scrambles towards... Let me see who she scrambles towards. Whoops. On a one, that's Min. 1, 2, 3 is Min. 4, 5, 6 is you. And Min picks her up, scoops her up, and puts her in her own backpack and says, "That'll teach you. Don't just attack somebody. Don't just go near wildlife. You never know what's hidden behind them." And she says, "Mr. Frog, Mrs. Frog." The frogs turn to her and look at her and say, "Ribbit, ribbit."
We are not here to harm you. We just want to have a peek at the well, if we are allowed to.
In the well, deep and dark, lies a long-forgotten heart.
Perfect. That's what we are looking for.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Are we allowed to look for the heart? Say yes or no.
The frogs look at each other. Make an insight check.
I have no clue. It's frogs.
Well, you know that. It's frogs. Then they look at you expectantly. You would say that they smile. They have very wide mouths that are closed, but they're smiling. It looks a bit strange.
Okay. I will just go, Min. You keep an eye on those.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
Just walk to the freaking well.
And then do what? Dive?
Well, have a look down first. I didn't have a chance to look down the well so far.
All right, then do that.
I will try to walk over to the well and just have a look down. And if a frog is stopping me, I will punch it in the nose.
The frogs move a little bit to the side so that you have access to the pool, to the well. You look down and you see it's a bit weird because, first of all, it's got these aquatic plants, you know, those really long ones that are basically growing from the depths and almost reach the surface. And there seems to be some kind of underwater current because they are slowly undulating very lazily in the pond. And you cannot see the bottom of the pool. But the water is very clear.
I guess diving in is the only way. Looking over to Min. Also, when the frogs let me pass, I would just nod my head and say thank you.
The frogs nod their heads, which looks a little odd, and they keep smiling at you. Ribbit, ribbit.
Is it a well also with like a rope and a bucket that you can lift and lower? Okay, so it's basically calling over Min as well. Should we just jump and see? The water looks clear. Maybe we can try also to. I will have a look around. Is there any place where we could secure a rope to throw it basically over the edge to climb
There are
down?
trees. You could probably do that. Yes.
Okay, then we would do that because at least I think we still have rope, and so I would secure a rope, the nearest tree around, make sure the knot is well tied, and then throw the end of the rope over the edge.
Yeah. You do that, and then what? Do you want to leave
climb.
your stuff and just dive, or do you want to take Darling?
I think I would leave my backpack and Darling at the edge of the well. With a look to the frogs, please be nice to her. And looking at Darling, no food. Although, honestly, she thinks the frogs are not so big that Darling will not have the idea of trying to eat them.
Milady, if you wish, I can stay and keep Her Majesty, and he looks at Darling, company.
That might be a good idea. And then we both just climb down with, well, maybe we should at least take... I will take the staff, just to be sure.
You mean
My quarterstaff.
yeah, okay, because I was thinking you would take the wand.
The wand I definitely have on me. I have it on my belt. So the only thing that I would leave is my backpack with like the bedroll with food. I would leave my short bow here. I would definitely not take it down as well. The healer's kit and quiver arrows I would leave up there. The ring I'm wearing and the wand is at my belt. And the quarterstaff I would still... Although I cannot carry a quarterstaff and climb down a rope really well.
You can put it on your back.
Yeah. Usually I put it on my backpack. I will not take my quarterstaff with me. It will be leaned against the well, so I will leave it there as well. Let's go down.
Okay. So you basically lower yourself, and then you reach the water surface. So how are you going to do this? Are you just trying to swim, or what are you trying to do?
First would be swimming and seeing what happens. And then probably diving to see if it's low. So swimming first and seeing if there's anything like, I don't know, like a tunnel or anything going to the side out, or if not, diving.
Okay, then, first of all, there is no tunnel that you can see, and as you're feeling with your legs and feet, there is also nothing. So basically now you need to take a deep breath.
Before I do that... I would probably climb back out and search for a stone.
There are stones.
Then I would put in my pocket, climb back down. I would cast light on the stone and just let it go so it slowly sinks.
Okay.
And light, let me just see. It sheds bright light, 20-foot radius, and additional 20 feet dim light.
Okay, so as you're doing this, you notice that the frogs have now turned and are watching you really interestedly. They're basically... And you can now make another insight check.
14.
You have the feeling that they're kind of like debating what you're doing, and kind of maybe they're placing bets or something as to how this is going to end. So you drop the stone, and the stone, as it is set alight, it looks very nice as it's going down, because of course it doesn't just drop, but there's kind of like, you know, it's being displacing water, so it's slowly or medium, it's sinking, it's floating down, and it lights the pool, so you can see that the water is totally clear, absolutely clear. You can see one of the other fish basically swimming quickly away from the light, so they're obviously disturbed or startled by the light of this stone tumbling down. And you can see that it was 30 feet and then 20 feet, or 20 feet and 20 feet?
20 feet and 20 feet.
So you can see it for 40 feet and then it vanishes. So it's
at least 40, no, more than 40.
Yeah, it's more than 40. Otherwise, it would have just
Yeah.
stayed and you would still see it. So it's at least it's more than 40 feet. And at some point, as you're looking down and holding or treading water, you hear no gills, no gills, says one of the frogs.
No, we are human. And I would look at Min while the stone basically disappears.
If not gills, why swim?
Well, we can still dive, but not that deep, I suspect.
Want gills, want gills?
Looking at Min, not really. We are no fish.
Better with gills, better with gills.
Let's try it like this. And Lyra will take a deep... and she will just try to dive, because she is just stubborn.
Okay, so you can choose either acrobatics or athletics.
Acrobatics, for sure.
Okay, then give me a roll.
And I will use lucky to get advantage on it.
No, you roll, and then if you want to, you can re-roll. We're playing it the old way. You don't have to decide now. Yes, maybe you should.
I will definitely re-roll. That is much better.
There you are. So now it's Lynn, and now it's Min. On a 26, she takes a deep breath, and she actually swims past you. She is super fast in the water. Okay, now for the hard part. Constitution save, please.
I will do that.
Oh,
and
dear.
I will add, let me see. You use an ability check or a saving throw, I can use a d10 on top. So I'll use a d10 on top. So
nice.
I have then a 19 at least.
Okay, then give me an acrobatics roll, but this time with advantage right off the bat.
Okay. Oh God.
Okay.
Again, I will add a d10 because I can. So
Okay,
it's a
that's 14,
at least.
and for her it's 16, so that's fine. Not as good as it was. You're
Well, it
slowing
makes sense.
down. You're both
the deeper
slowing
you
down.
get,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense.
So now you can you know the water is beginning to crash down
Yeah.
on your lungs. So now make another con save.
Do we see the stone back now that we're deeper,
How
or
long
is it
does
completely gone?
how long does the light last?
Let me check. An hour.
Yes. Okay. So you have, what is your normal speed?
30 feet.
Okay. So you're moving at 20. She's moving at 30. And so basically, I will say that you have done 3 rounds by now. So you've been swimming for 18 or diving for 18 seconds. Yes, you can see it, but it's very far down.
Okay, but at least we can see it, because if by now we wouldn't see it, Lyra would abort mission and go up. But if we see it, then it's fine. So Constitution.
Save, please. Oh, good.
Yeah,
okay.
that's okay.
Another acrobatics check, please. Now without advantage. Okay, 17. Good, excellent. And now one more Constitution save, please. Oh dear.
It's like, guide. No, you don't have guidance, darling. There is no support here. You're a warlock. You don't have fancy things. Wait, Constitution save. I will add a D. No, I will add a D10 to it. Well, an 8 is still sucks, doesn't really
Nine,
go
but
well. Yeah.
so you take 1 level of exhaustion, as does
That
Min.
is
You have
well.
almost, it seems like you can see not only now the stone, but you can also see a green heart-shaped thing lying in the undergrowth, in the grass or whatever it is that's growing. However, you also see a large shadow rise from the deep. Please roll initiative.
That's not good.
Well, let me see if I find a really nice picture. Yep.
Initiative. While I'm still writing.
And while you're writing, I'm going to share my screen so that everyone, including the stream, can see what you are facing.
We don't like this.
Well, it is terribly ugly. But then again, beauty does lie in the eye of the beholder.
And in the situation you are in, because Lyra is like, this is no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so let's roll initiative.
I have a 19.
Okay, so you've got a 19.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's roll. Oh, okay. Min is a 21.
And as free action, Lyra would just give it a sign, abort mission, and would just point upwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Whoops. And here we have a... Okay. Min gets to act first. Mm-hmm. She looks at you, she looks at the thing, and then she sees what you're saying, and she nods, and then she grabs you by the hand and starts pushing up. She's the fastest swimmer of you two, so she's gonna make an acrobatics check. 17, not too bad. And she will do another one. Oh, 25, okay. So she is going to use the fact that she can use a dash action as well. So she's gonna do one more. So she's now spent 30, she's now sped up 30, 60. Okay, 60 feet. The other one actually has a 40 feet swim speed. Acrobatics is simply dex. It doesn't have that, so we will just give it this. 11.
Well, water is its element, so it's just like moving. It doesn't have to fight, I'm quite sure, because we don't have to fight if we walk outside.
That's true. So it's following, but it's still a little bit behind.
So it rolled 20 initiative?
No, it rolled an initiative of 17, so
it's then after me, so it doesn't move before me, it would move after me.
Yeah, but she's dragging you. Are you not letting yourself be dragged? Sorry, I should have asked.
I have actions and things to do.
Okay, then take actions.
No. Because there's one question, if you would allow it for me to, like, help. The question is the ring. It's force damage. So
nice.
for me, the idea is that you hold the ring and damage it. Force basically comes, or pressure comes out of it like air and pushes or hits things. I'm not sure.
Do that.
So her idea would be to use at least one charge of the ring, because in water as well, it should give a push if she points it down to help us go upwards. The question is, what should I roll? Because it's not a damage roll. It doesn't make sense to roll damage.
It works automatically?
It's an attack roll. So should I do an attack roll? And
do an attack roll. Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Can you still do the damage though?
I can do.
Okay, so what's going to happen is the damage equals the feet it's going to be pushed back by. So you're at 60 feet because she's dragging you. You have pushed it back 11.
No, you don't understand what I want to push us up. I don't want to push that thing down. I want to use it that we are quicker to go up.
Okay, in that case, you accomplish both.
Okay.
Because it's coming from below you. So basically you are creating a shockwave, as it were, going down. It has to fight that shockwave. And on a 13, you hit its armor class. Okay, so it basically is affected by the force. It gets pushed. It doesn't take damage, but it gets pushed back by 11 feet.
Okay.
And you are propelled upwards by 11 feet. So you're now at 71 feet, and it is now 11 feet lower than it was. Okay. So when it comes up, it's 40 feet. It's now still 30 feet away from you.
Okay.
Okay.
I would also let go of Min and point to her to go, because I have magical means of moving that I can use. So I will hold her back as she tries to pull me.
Okay, in that case, well, both of you have to make a constitution save to see if you start breathing. Okay, she's fine. You're fine. Okay.
Okay.
Then top of the order, it's her again. She's gonna dash. Pass. Pass. Okay, she actually breaks the surface. You can see that.
Okay.
She's moved 90 feet.
I will use my movement and my action to try to follow her. So it would be 2 acrobatics roll, right?
Yep.
So first. And second, I would use lucky to reroll. And I will add a d10. Which did not do shit.
Okay, so you have moved 20.
Yep. And at a tiny tattle bit. And as a bonus action, I will Misty Step 30 feet ahead.
Okay. The marrow, because that's what it is that you're facing, isn't letting up. It's following you, but it's slower than you. Okay, so Min is out of the game, as it were, because she's treading water, and you can see that she's basically coming down again and facing you. I
would point up to get to the freaking rope and get out.
She's essentially just below the surface. She's put down her head so that she can see what's happening. And now it's your turn. You have actions. You're not far away.
I have nothing left. I did
it's
action and bonus action.
It's the new round because Min is out of the order. She is no longer participating in this.
But if Min is not taking the rope, we will never be able to get out of the freaking well. Because we can only climb. Then she needs to climb and go out. Okay. We have to leave the water. If not, we're dead.
Okay, well, she's leaving the water.
Okay. That's because we have to climb one after the other. We can't climb at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then I would use my movement to try to get to...
Well, she actually vaults out of it. She basically grabs onto it and does a somersault and vaults off the rope onto the ground.
So I will try to use my movement to get to the rope.
Acrobatics. Yep.
It's the question, how far away from the surface and the rope am I?
You've managed to break through. You can now catch the rope if you like. You have moved 20 feet.
How much distance, how high is between where I am to the edge of the well outside?
You mean from the surface of the water to the edge of the well?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 3 meters? 3 meters?
Okay, then again I need to have, what is 3 meters in feet?
30 feet is
10
meters,
feet?
so it's 10 feet.
10 feet roundabout? Okay, I will misty step to the edge. I will not even try to climb. I will just misty step out of the water next to her.
Okay. You misty step out of the water.
Yeah.
The marrow breaks the surface.
That is fine.
You now see that it's actually quite large, and it basically, you see its torso. And it hisses at you, and it has large hands with webbed fingers, and it has like almost it's like a crown around its face, like around its head, like skin flaps, and it can basically blow them out. And it basically tries to grab at the well, at the lip of the well, and manages to do so and tries to pull itself up. At that moment, the 2 frogs, again, double on size. So now you have like 2.5 meter tall frogs, and basically both tongues lash out at the marrow and fight it back down. And it lets go with a huge hiss and sinks away out of sight.
I will just slide down the side of the well, just sitting down where we are.
Ribbit! Why not use gills? Why not use gills?
Then we still have to fight that thing. We can't.
They look at each other. Why not fight? Why not fight?
I have
Meadow's
nothing.
stupid.
But underwater there's no fighting.
They look at each other, and you can tell, even without an insight check, they are terribly puzzled.
We don't belong underwater. We move slowly. Most magic does not properly work down there. At least not my magic.
Be more frog! Be more frog!
I will just look at Min. I don't know how we should do that. Because I can't even turn invisible. I'm still visible in water. Because it's not that water goes through me. The water will be around me and show my figure. And my fire spells don't work down there. None, a single one will work.
Magic missile would.
Yeah, and what kind of damage does that do?
Your blade would.
I don't think so. We are very slow in water. I cannot do quick movements down there. It's a struggle for every inch of movement.
She turns to the frogs and says, "How can we be more frog?" The 2 frogs look at each other and they say, "We help! Be more frog!"
Lyra would take at least a minute to just focus, breathe, and will at least get 1 spell back. Wait, there, okay. And then she will look at the frogs as well. That does not explain how you can help.
Drink the water, be a frog.
Drink the water, be a frog. Looking at Min. Looking back at frogs. But we don't want to stay frogs.
The frogs look at each other. Eat the greens and become human again.
Lyra in a typical I don't trust anyone motion looks at Min. Should we really trust that? Maybe we're stupid at frogs and don't remember that green will turn us back.
Well, these two seem to know what's going on.
That is true.
I mean, what's the alternative? Now we're here. We can't go back. If we want to go forward, we need the heart. There is at least one marrow down there, which you believe we can't fight in this form, and I'm not disputing that. So, of all of the possibilities that we have, which one should we choose?
Lyra is debating with herself. So Min doesn't even have to do an insight. She can see that Lyra is really struggling. Oh, that's all spell slots. I don't want to use a spell slot. Freaking hell. That's all fire. Why do I only have fire spells?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. I have lightning as well. Lightning and water. Oh, lightning and water. And
I was just gonna say, maybe not.
No. That's not a good thing. So basically, the ring and the wand are the only things I can do. Eldritch Blast might work because that is force damage again.
Yeah, so basically you can ignore your intelligence roll. Exactly that, because fire would basically start boiling the water, which would affect everyone. Like you said, lightning, that's electricity.
Lightning would
not
backfire.
good.
No, it would get everyone.
Yeah.
As I said, invisibility is a nice idea. In water, it doesn't make any sense because I'm still there and the water would be around me. And as soon as I move, it would show that something is moving.
Plus, also, you were noticing that you were running out of air. And if you start fighting and becoming really physically active, you will be losing even more air and you would probably not be able to sustain this. You might even drown.
No, the thing is, at the moment, Lyra is hoping that even in frog form, she can even do spells, because that not necessary has to be like that. And then invisibility would still do the same problem. That she would not be she would be transparent. That would be basically the result.
Frog, that would look nice.
Yeah, but it will not make her invisible like out here, where she basically makes poof because it's not showing. Because if you throw sand to an invisible person, you can still see the sand hitting someone because the one is still there.
And if they walk through sand, you would see the
we see
footprints.
the steps. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So they look at you and they say, "Be more frog, drink the water."
Looking at Ruto. Wrong other way around. Yell at us to eat the freaking greens when we are back up, yes? Just in case we forget, please.
He looks at you. Of course, milady, because this whole kissing of a frog to turn them into a princess is just a fairy tale. One needs to eat the greens. And he smiles at you.
I will nod and I will use my mage hand to... I could imagine Mage Hand can hold light things, so it should be able to hold like my cup that I have on my backpack to drink, and would just pull out some water and would do the same for
Absolutely, no
Min,
problem.
so that we have 2 cups of water out of the well, and the Mage Hand would vanish then again.
Okay.
And
drink.
Lyra will just close her eyes and drink.
Okay, so basically, Min says, to your health, and she drinks it. You drink yours, and you notice immediately that something's happening. You grow in size, and especially your legs grow and start changing their shape. You get springy legs. Your hands become really wide. The fingers have those what you call them, almost like suction cups. You know how they can basically climb easily. Your hands become huge, and your fingers are beginning to web. What you do notice, however, is you're still wearing your stuff.
Okay.
It just expands. And your whole body becomes very large, but also your posture changes, so that basically your hands are now naturally in front of you, and you're basically hunching over. And you see Min, and Min is turning in front of your eyes. She's turning into a very large frog. And as she opens her mouth and wants to talk, you just hear a ribbit, ribbit. Wee frog. And she starts walking around, which looks a bit weird. And then she looks at you, and she is also still wearing her stuff. I mean, she doesn't wear armor, but she's still... and you notice that you are both as tall as the other 2 frogs. So you're 2.5 meters tall. You're really tall frogs.
Min will hear an annoyed from Lyra.
What is
And Lyra
What is it?
will just try to make like 1 or 2 hops just to get a feeling.
The other 2 frogs are go, more frog, more good, more good.
Lyra will nod to them, and then she will just roll her eyes, and she will probably take a leap into the well, because climbing down a rope doesn't sound like a good idea for a frog, so she will just take a... and will bounce into the well.
Now, frogs are amphibians, so they can breathe underwater, but also they can breathe air. You hit the surface, but you notice that it's different than in your normal body, because without actually thinking about it, you did a frog dive. So you launched yourself into the air and basically hop down head first and break the surface, and you see perfectly.
Okay.
And you also notice that it's not really dark. Their vision seems to be different. And then you hear another... And Minfrog descends upon you and swims next to you. And then...
We dive.
You dive. You dive, and you can see the heart coming into focus a lot more quickly now because your vision is so much better. But then you can also see the shadow of the marrow rising again, but this time you know it's there. So you have 2 rounds to prep. What do you want to do? Your stats remain the same. Except you're swimming now a lot faster. It's no problem at all. Your swimming speed is 40 feet. And you also don't have any trouble breathing.
Let me double check just one thing. Oh, she will do something that will be very annoying, but we will still do it. She will... How long? Let me see. How long is it? Up to an hour concentration. That does not mingle with anything else. Nope. That's the wrong spell. That's the right spell. We will now have 3 Lyra frogs.
Okay, cool.
No, 4. 3 duplicates. So we have 4 now.
Okay, so it's getting crowded. So there are now 5 frogs and 1 marrow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I would send like 2 a little bit ahead. Not much, but a bit. Just that we spread out a little in length and not in width, because there's not the space. And as soon as I am 120 feet in range with the marrow, it will get an Eldritch Blast in the face.
It is within 120 feet.
Okay, then it would be... At least I would send out an Eldritch Blast just to
Hit
try,
it?
and it's 2 beams, so 2 hits. 1 and
Absolutely. Nope. This first one hits though.
2. So 10 force damage.
Okay. Very good. So, Min is going to, in her first round, is going to dash to get really close. So she has now a diving and a swimming speed of 40, so she can now do 80. Bam. Having said this, she has this as a... Up. Okay, so she can also do the dash action as a bonus action, in which case she would move 40, she would dash as a bonus action, then she can still attack, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So she is going to then she's going to she's going to use the fact that she has an additional attack. So she has an extra attack, so she takes 2 unarmed strikes. That's a hit. On a 16. And she does 5. And then she takes another swipe at the thing. And on a 9, she doesn't succeed. And now it's the marrow. So she is now in arm's length reach of the marrow. And it attacks her with its bite. No chance. But then it also reaches for her with its clawed hands. And on a... Again, she swims out of the way. It is your turn.
I will swim a bit close. Do I need to swim closer? I will be like in the 60 feet, 50 feet range. At least 1 or 2, probably 2 of my duplicates closer to it. Like 30 feet.
Just one question. The duplicates don't attack. They just confuse.
Yeah. So if it attacks me, I need to roll and see if it hits me or one of my duplicates. And as soon as it hits, they have an AC that is...
Your dexterity modifier plus 10 or something.
So 12. AC is 12. So if he reaches 12 or higher, they just vanish. But then it doesn't hit me. That's the general idea. And it will get another Eldritch Blast. The 2 beams against the marrow. So 18.
That hits.
So 8 force damage. And the second one is a 17.
That hits.
So 12.
Ooh.
So 20 force damage overall.
Okay, very good. Then it's Min.
Although, honestly, can I move a bit more down that I would be in the 30 feet range now, and at least space-wise, 2 of my duplicates are even closer?
Sure, absolutely.
Just to give the thing some ideas of not only attacking Min, but maybe other things as well.
Min takes the extra attack, so she attacks twice, essentially, with her action. 14 hits. 5 bludgeoning. And she hits one more time. 19 hits as well. 7. And the marrow goes down in more than one way. Because it's simply, you can see that it's killed and it basically sinks to the bottom. And you can see the heart, and you can see that the marrow is actually lying next to it on the ground.
I will leave my duplicates up, but I will move past them, and I think Min and I, both of us, would swim down towards the heart, and my glowy stone that should be still lying somewhere close to it, probably on the floor.
Yeah.
Is the heart just laying there, or is it like...
No, it's actually lying there on a bed of water plants. Like, almost like in a nest.
Lyra is thinking if these are the greens we should have and eat later on. I think she would pluck a little bit of the nest. And then she would also grab, or carefully grab the heart and see if it moves.
Well, if you mean if you can lift it.
Yeah, if I can lift it.
You can lift it, yeah.
And she would use her other hand to touch the marrow and give it hit points back.
Okay, yeah.
And try to at least not kill it. Just if it gets back up and it starts attacking, then so be it. But it will.
How many do you give it back?
Let me see. It's a D4, the 3D4. Let me see. So
You can
8 hit points back.
Okay, you can see the marrow stir. And it rears its really ugly head. And it looks at you.
I'll just give it a
Blinking.
pat on the shoulder. And then start kicking off and swimming up.
The marrow doesn't follow.
Okay.
So you make your way up. You are quick. It's about, I would say probably the whole pool is maybe 160 feet deep. Maybe 200 feet. So it takes you 5 rounds. You breach the surface. You tread water. You use your very powerful hind legs. And you basically jump onto the lip. And you see the 2 frogs. They make way for you because you really need more room now that you are so big. And
Also, my duplicates vanish, obviously, as soon as we are close to the edge and before we get out.
yeah, and basically they say, Ribbit, ribbit, be more frog, be more frog. Good frog.
Lyra will answer in frog form like, thank you, thank you.
Eat green, eat green. And they point to the to those water plants which are on the surface, and they jump down, or one of them does, and basically they harvest some and hand it back to you.
Lyra will for sure eat it.
You eat it. Min does too. You both turn back into human form. Milady, you're back. He bows. He kisses your hand.
No, he does not. He can try. He definitely not.
He looks a little bit crestfallen.
Again, it's not my lady, it's Lyra.
But milady...
It's fine that you call her Her Majesty. I'm fine with it. We are just Lyra and Min. We are adventure and travel companions. We are equal.
Milady!
No, we had this discussion.
He sits down. He knows when he's beaten.
Let me try. Also, I will use prestidigitation to dry us up.
Mm-hmm. You have the third heart.
Mm-hmm. I will have probably just a short look at it and then put it carefully away in my bag. Or in my pouch on my belt, because that would be not something I would put in my backpack. Mm-hmm. Depending on how big, and we never talked about how big the heart is. Okay, then I need to put it in a backpack. It will not fit in a pouch. And I would turn to the frogs. Thank you so much for your help.
Now you need to go where the waters have all left. Try and find her whose heart was taken from her breast. Repeat, repeat.
Do you have a direction? Just turning, looking around, that we should start going.
They both turn and look south.
Okay. Based on the sun, what time of day is it?
Maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Then looking at Ruth and Min, should we start at least, or should we make camp here and start tomorrow morning?
Well, I'm still good, says Min, to walk a couple of hours. And I mean, what about you, Ruto? And Ruto's like, Milady, I have been keeping watch. I feel absolutely fine.
Then let's go. And turning a last time to the frogs, thank you so much.
They start shrinking. Ribbit, ribbit.
And we start walking south.
You walk south, and basically you are in a very light forest, which is almost not really a forest. It's more really like a grove, and you leave the grove after a very short time, maybe an hour or so, and you reach an open plain. Please make a perception check just to basically see how much you can see of the of the landscape in the distance. 16, that's not too bad. See what you get.
10.
What you see definitely is before you, and this is a nice change of scenery maybe, it's completely flat. You cannot see any mountains, then there are not even hills there. It's really flat. And Lyra, who sees a little further, says, it's almost like the air is shimmering in that direction. But I can't see anything, no landmarks. It seems to be totally flat.
So either it's really warm there, or there's water, I suspect. Or magic. But
okay. I mean,
that's
I guess.
probably the direction we have to go.
Well, that's what the frog said.
So we still have a little bit of light, so let's move a bit.
So I would say it's now 4 o'clock.
camp. Well, it's 4 o'clock. Let's move. We will have to camp outside.
So you move for a couple of hours. The sun is sinking. Obviously, it's sinking to your right.
Also, while we walk through the more foresty, grovey thing, we would have collected a bit more wood so we can make a campfire.
Oh, no, wood, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to roll for that.
Just that, because in the plain outside, then firewood will be probably sparse, so...
Okay, so you have collected some wood. I would say even as much as you could carry, and Ruto can also take some, because obviously fire is the one thing that you really need to make. And because nights are cold, but also they keep away, fires keep away predators, and you know that if you have nothing to burn, then that gets really problematic. So you have plenty. I would say you have probably enough firewood for 3 nights.
Yeah, I would also have some firewood like crossed over the backpack, just bound in there, and I would have Darling basically on my arm just to make space.
And then basically,
there we go.
Around 7 o'clock. You make good time because you can tell that there is a road here.
Okay.
It used to be paved. The pavement has not been kept up, so basically there is vegetation spreading up between the cracked stones. But you would say that this would have been a road that probably people would have taken on horseback or even with carts. So it's a wider road. But it's also in very bad repair. Maybe it was abandoned 20 years ago, who knows? But since it's a road, regardless of its disrepair, you make good time.
Also, it's not a mountain. We don't have to climb. It's nice for once to just walk.
Yeah, you can actually just walk. And you keep walking. And I mean, basically, do you want to walk until sundown?
Well, not until sun is down, like half an hour before. So when we see sky is turning and it's getting a little bit darker, then we would, I think, set up camp, because it doesn't look like there's something we could hide behind or in. So we would just set up camp.
Make a survival check for me, please.
No.
Okay, in your area, you actually do not really see any shelter. I mean, sometimes one would see a couple of stones in the distance, but none are close to the road. So it's really when you do your camp thing, you're in the middle of things. So yeah.
So be it.
Okay, so you set up a fire.
Yeah.
And you make camp. Ruto volunteers to take first watch.
Okay. I will take second, and then Min can do last.
Okay, so please make a perception check.
Perception and 18.
Okay. You hear and see nothing.
Okay.
It is very quiet.
Does it get really cold at night, or is it okayish?
It's okay. You would say probably about, I want to say 15 degrees.
Okay,
that's pleasant when you're sitting down with a blanket over your shoulders. Yeah. So it's fine.
Okay.
And then the next morning you have breakfast, then you keep walking, and the road...
So means we have a proper long rest, yes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can make a survival check with regard to if you need to hunt.
Okay.
You think that it would be good to do some hunting in order to get some more provisions.
Did we, now that we're walking basically in the flatlands, did we even see any animals we could hunt?
There are animals. You can see their footprints. They're mainly like gophers, hares, that kind of animal.
Okay, that's
fine. So basically, you decide to go hunting. Min does a survival check. Oh, natural 20. Min finds traces. And she basically indicates them to you and Druto, and the three of you go off course. And not too far. I mean, it's not like you wouldn't find the road again, so you're not doing anything like that. And you follow the traces, and you come across a flock of birds. Like, you've never seen them, but they seem to be birds. They're about yay big. They don't seem to be able to fly. They have very strong legs, very strong feet. And there's like 20 or 30, and they're basically... they have a very large body and then a very long neck, and then the head is on top. I don't know what they are, but I think they're edible.
And I think one is enough for all of us. We don't
Absolutely.
So, short bow out, and we try to...
Okay.
Because it feels very weird to use magic to kill the bird.
Ruta
Although,
also takes
would we use magic to kill the bird? Would a warlock use Eldritch Blast? I'm just
Does
scared
it roast
that
them in the process as well?
No, Eldritch Blast is force damage, so it's rather will it basically explode, which would be very nasty. No, we will use the short bow.
Okay, so Ruto takes out his short bow as well. He looks at you, nods at you. And then he says, on 3.
Okay.
You knock the arrow, you pull back the string, on 1, on 2, on 3. Wow, you roll a 19, he rolls a 25. 2 arrows fly to you've first of all decided which bird to go for, because you both agree, or all
Probably
three of you agree
one
you
that
need
is
one.
a little bit at the edge of the group.
And 2 arrows hit, the bird goes down. The other ones look, they see their fallen comrade, and they start running. And you've never seen a bird run this quickly. It seems like this is how they traverse even probably very large distances. They are fast. And yeah, you can pick up the prey.
We will do, and we will, prepare and cut the meat and whatever we have to do to make it smaller, because we will not carry a bird that size around.
So you basically, but you do the normal thing, which means that you're actually going to take everything that you can possibly use. So let's see how Ruto does.
I think we will take what we need to, and we will also leave a bit because Lyra suspects there are
carrion eaters.
Yeah, birds of prey, whatever. There will be animals around who will enjoy an easy snack.
Do you want to give me a survival roll, please?
Let's give it a try.
Very good. 13. You actually get a couple of feathers for fletchling, because you also need to start replacing your arrows. And of course, you've got a master carpenter with you, because Min, that's her thing. So she will be able to make a couple of arrows for you, but you need fletchling. And of course, at some point, you're going to need to have a tip so you can actually get the arrows back. But they are broken, but the tips are still intact. So she can make new arrows for you.
Well, I'm still very fine in arrows because I rarely use that thing, but for Ruto might be nice to have the new arrows.
Yeah, because Ruto has been using quite a lot. Yeah. So you basically have enough food, I would say, for 4 days. But of course, you also know you need to cook it or whatever, boil it, roast it, and then dry it probably. But
for drying, we don't really have the time to dry it.
I was just going to say,
right?
and also you don't have enough salt to salt it, so it's really about roasting it and then cooling it. Okay, so you do that, you go back, you make camp. after a while, so you can still walk. I mean, the hunt didn't take that long. It was only about 2 hours. Stalking the prey, then killing it, and then disassembling it, as it were, butchering it. So basically you walk again, and then you make camp. Give me a survival roll, please. Okay. Oh, good. You actually do find some shelter, because there is a dip in the road, and it's kind of like the road has sagged a little bit. So there was an embankment, and basically half of it fell away. So if you want to, you can actually go down that embankment. It's about 2 meters below the road, and you could, in the shelter of this, make your camp if you like.
Yeah, we will do that.
Okay.
And we will have a very good meal this evening, because we have plenty of meat, so we will enjoy a good meal.
Darling likes it
Yeah.
as well. She's very happy. Yeah, and it's, well, it's good. Yeah. You notice that it's a lot warmer today. So now the sun is gone. It's still 17, 18 degrees. Ruto offers to take first watch.
I will do second again.
Make a perception check, please.
11.
Okay, you see nothing. And then at some point you're woken up by Min, and she's prepared breakfast, and you keep walking.
Yeah.
The road is dipping more and more, and now on your third day, towards the evening, it's really warm. Although the sun has already vanished, it's over 20 degrees. It is really warm. And you can now also see what she was talking about, this shimmering of the air, like this iridescence. And you have another night. Ruto will take first watch. Please make a perception check.
Oh, 13, same as you.
Okay. You see something. You see something that you have never seen before. Excuse me. It's a creature about this big. So maybe 20 centimeters. It's walking on 6 legs. And it's got 2 very large pincers that it's carrying in front of it. And it's got an elongated body that ends in, it ends in a sting. And its body seems to be jointed. And it comes towards the fire and then stops. It rears up and then it crawls away, and then it walks away again. So this is really a being that walks. It's really walking on its 6 legs, and it vanishes in the darkness.
Okay. Then when I wake up Min for her watch, I would warn her is exactly about what I've seen, and we need to keep an eye open, because if it has like a stinger, it's usually not a good thing.
She cocks her head and says, "Oh, I know what that is. We have them in my land, scorpions."
Okay. Not healthy to be stung, I suppose.
If you're a rat, no. But you're much bigger than a rat.
Okay.
They are predators. They hunt mice, rats. And she looks at Ruto. Well, I would say he needs to be a bit careful, and especially Darling as well,
Darling.
because they don't weigh as much. But They are usually quite shy. They are very sensitive to movement. So if we want to keep them away, it's important to stamp the ground. So basically take your quarterstaff when you walk and just pound the ground with it.
I understand.
They don't like humans very much. They don't like anything that's actually big. If they are cornered, especially if they have young,
that's
they will attack.
How it usually is.
But I would say just leave them alone. They will leave you alone.
But we need to keep an eye. Not that by accident we step on one or something.
But in my land, they actually live in the desert.
Well, it's getting warmer and warmer.
I didn't realize that there was a desert here in Stemirahod.
Oh, we don't know. The question is, we are walking towards a place where the water was. If there's no water anymore, it will be dry. Too dry, probably. So, I suspect there will be something like desert.
Yeah, probably.
Or dried out land. Maybe not desert like sandy desert, but at least very dry. We will see. We just need to keep an eye on our water reserves.
Yeah, we should.
Oh no, we don't have to. We have the jug of endless water thingy with us. We are fine. We are fine on water.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Because Min has the jug. I highly suspect she would not throw it out. She would carry it around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, Min takes the last watch and then she wakes and she says, there were two more of them that came last night. They were probably attracted by the fire. I just basically pounded the ground and I just ran away really quickly.
Then we just need to warn Rutu in the morning and well, tell Darling not to play with them.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. She shouldn't be playing with them. And so you have breakfast and you make your way and you come after about 2 hours or so, you actually come to the brink of a huge desert. And you're not wrong. It looks more like a sea of sand. So, like when you have a sea, an ocean, and you have like cresting waves, you have those too. There are dunes. And it almost looks like this used to be water and it has been frozen in time and turned to sand. So it's almost like you can see a cresting wave. And yeah. So this is it.
If it's not that, I don't know what else it is.
All right, now, do we just keep going south?
I guess.
All right. Then let's do it. And you walk into the desert.
Also, when we walk into the desert, Lyra would see how soft the sand is and how deep we sink. If it's like the soft sand where you sink in and you feel like walking is really difficult, I think Lyra would try out of the wood that we still have to do something that is more like we know snowshoes, because that works on sand as well, because it just helps that you're not sinking in as deep. At least she would try to see if that works and makes walking maybe a little bit more
Okay.
painless.
That's a very good idea. So the two of you will both will make a dexterity test. So a check, not a save. And Lynn will use her carpenter's tools ability. Okay. You roll.
Can I use sleight of... Oh, sleight of hand is my dex. It doesn't matter. It's the same. Oh, I'm fine.
I was just gonna say that between the two of you, you make like 3 killer pairs of sand shoes, one pair for Ruto as well. And yes, you are absolutely right. With this, you can traverse the sands a lot easier, so you do not have to make constitution saves as you're walking.
Also, since I'm proficient with navigator tools and navigation, I will try to find always some points or really tracking closely how the sun is going, that we are not losing direction and still go south.
Then make a, roll. Do you have this as a tool and then with an attribute, or?
Yeah, you decide which attribute, but I think it would be probably wisdom?
Well, I would
Or
say wisdom or
intelligence?
intelligence, depending on which one is the better for you.
Intelligence would be
Then
better
please
in
use
this case.
intelligence. Yeah, fine.
Trying.
Well, still, why does it say it's 2 plus 0 plus 3?
That is really bizarre. Let me see what it is.
Because you should get proficiency as well.
D20 plus 2 is my dex, plus 0 is no additional modifiers, and plus 3 is the proficiency.
But why is it
Why
using...
does it calculate so weirdly?
Why does it
Let me
use
see.
dex and not intelligence? Or
Because
is the 2 the intelligence?
No, it's intelligence, sorry.
Okay.
It's intelligence dex is supposed to. My brain was just...
So in this case, okay. But a 13 is fine. So you are navigating fine. And then what you now notice is it gets dark a lot quicker. So when the sun goes down, it goes down super quickly. So how do you want to spend your first night in the desert? What do you want to do? How do you want to set up camp?
I think we would still do a fire, but try to keep it small. So not so much for... Oh, do we really need... I would look around. Do we really need fire? Is it enough that we have light?
You mean light spell in order to create light?
Yeah, although it goes out after an hour, so I would not be able to sleep.
Well, I mean, what you notice is this is a beautiful sky now because you can see all the
desert
stars.
gets cold usually.
And it does
right?
get cold, yes.
Then we will try to make a fire, but small as possible, let's say. Because honestly, based on firewood, we shouldn't have much to any left.
Okay. What you have found is you found tumbleweeds.
Okay, so that help. Well, they burn quickly, but at least they help a little.
Okay.
And we try to get through the night.
Okay, so Maruto takes first watch. Now, then it's you, and then it's Min. Please make a perception check.
And as soon as I am awake, I would cast light on my quarterstaff and just put it in the sand in the middle, like a lantern a little bit. 17.
As you're sitting there, keeping watch with your light on your staff, you can hear the sand beginning to move. You've heard this noise before because that's the noise that you all make as you are walking. And you look in the direction where the sound is coming from, and you see a figure cresting the dune that is across from you. It looks like a humanoid.
With a snap, the light, my quarterstaff, the light goes out.
You can see that this person is also carrying some form of staff because as your light goes out. He turns his on. And you see that it's a very old man with a very long beard and very brown skin and very leathery, wrinkled skin. So he's very, very old, and he looks like somebody who's probably been around in this climate. You know, he's as dry as the desert.
I will just nudge Min. We have visitor.
What? Oh. Who is it?
I don't know. A very old man. Might be nice, might be dangerous, not sure. I will just stand and watch. I will not sign to him, I will not wave, I will just watch what he is doing. Thanks to dark vision. Although it's a question, the sky is clear and the stars are out, so there is light, or is it pitch black?
There is light. Yes,
okay.
It's not completely pitch black, and of course he is obviously not
Or if he made light,
scared to be seen because he's made light. Do not be afraid. I'm Rami, the Wanderer.
Lyra would just answer back, and how should we know that you're not dangerous?
Well, I suppose you can't know. What could I possibly do to convince you?
Just walk by. Have a good night. Min has a chance to do something else. By now, I'm quite sure Ruto will be up as well, because
Ruto is up.
Is loud enough.
Grandfather, will you not share some water with us? The night is cold. Do sit down at our fire.
But we don't know. Maybe he's dangerous, Ruto.
That was actually Min.
Oh, Min.
You are always so insensitive, and this is an old man.
We
owe him respect. Be quiet for once.
By all we know, he could be the frickin' vampire.
Grandfather, please join us. Do not heed her words. The old man comes closer. He sits down.
Also, the second part with do we know what we carry, and he could be a vampire, she would whisper, because she would not share with an...
Yeah, absolutely.
Foreigner.
He moves quite slowly. He's old, and he sits down and holding onto his staff. He lowers himself to the ground, and then he puts down the staff over his knees and basically switches off the light, as it were, because there is a fire.
Okay, but if he gets closer, we would put a bit in the fire. No, we would not put more in the fire, because we don't have more to put in the fire, but Lyra would turn on the light on her quarterstaff again. But she would also keep her distance and would make sure that she has basically her foot against the backpack.
He rubs his hands and then he holds them to the flame and he says, "Yes, the nights get really cold.
But we can share water. That's something we can share because we have enough. So
he holds out his cup. He has a traveling cup.
So we can give him some of the water that we have.
He takes out herbs from a pouch. He rubs them between his palms. You can smell a very fragrant smell. He puts it into his water and he drinks it. So, you're not from the desert, I can tell.
Just passing through?
Yes. Not many would do that. It's deadly. You heed my words. Be careful.
Thank
And
you.
then he gets up, takes his cup, puts it away, takes his staff, and walks off into the darkness.
Have a safe trip yourself.
You're not so sure, but you have a feeling that you're talking to nothing. You know what? We will never ever learn anything about this land because you treat everyone like a monster.
Again, we are carrying something very precious. If not, I wouldn't be more relaxed, but we don't know what is coming after us.
No, we don't know what is coming after us, but we also don't know where we're going. If we never talk to anyone, we will probably walk around this desert for years.
I am sure we will be slowly shown the way.
Well,
You can't ask strangers, where should we put the heart? That would be a very bizarre thing, because that is the invitation to, oh, you have something special.
well, I think that this is probably because you are the daughter of some goddess. I'm not. I've learned to put my faith in the living.
Honestly, I don't have faith in the gods. I have
Yeah.
faith in us. 3, 4. Sorry, darling, 4.
Well then, should somebody else show up, don't wake me. Just try to ignore them. And she goes to sleep again.
I will keep my watch.
No one shows up.
Then I will wake her. It was quiet. And I will roll up and get some sleep.
She wakes you the next morning with some food and you keep walking.
Yes. And again, I will try to keep us southwards.
Make a check with your navigation tools.
And we said intelligence. And I will add a d10. So it's
Very
a
nice.
30-20.
Okay, very good. Yeah, you keep your bearing south. And as you walk, you suddenly see a speck in the distance. And it's coming towards you.
You see that too, Min?
Yes. It's probably a person by the looks of it. Should we just ambush them and kill them maybe? Or do you maybe could
Excuse me?
behave a little more civil?
I
this
did
time?
not kill him. I did not attack him. Why should I do that?
I don't know. I mean, to me, this is... Yeah, I think it's because I grew up in the wilderness, and whenever you meet someone, you are happy, and you share, and you...
We are in the land of a very powerful being that wants us dead.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget that.
If I keep telling myself this, it will make my life unbearable. I need to see the good. If I don't, I will wither like a flower.
Then you keep being positive and believe people are good. I will be the skeptical one and try to stay alive.
So, if this is a person, let me talk to them, please.
Yeah, as I said, I will not attack them, except they attack us.
So basically the speck is coming towards you, but you can see it is walking in a... not in a straight line. It is basically meandering. And it has its head bowed and it's looking at the ground very firmly. Then the person stops and stands up straight, and you can see it's a woman. And she has a bandana over her eyes, and her eyes are closed. And she says, I can see you. With my inner eye. You're not from here. Have you seen my talisman? I lost it somewhere back here.
Lyra will look at Min. Min wanted to talk. Lyra will not say a single. She will just cross her arms and just stand there.
Lyra walks towards the woman and says, I'm sorry, we haven't. What does it look like? It's just a little trinket. It means a lot to me. If you would help me find it, you shall be rewarded. And
We need
Lyra,
to know what we have to look for, and it's Min, not Lyra.
Min, yes. The woman looks at you, but doesn't see you, or maybe she does. You will know it when you find it. It is made of metal. It looks like a bird. And then she keeps meandering, and Lyra starts searching as well.
Wait a second. No, wrong. It's horrible to have multiple D&D games, and you're like, I don't have to spell, that is a different character. Min will also look around. Lyra will also look around.
So Lyra and Min both look around. Ruto also does some looking.
Let me see. Perception. 3 times. And I will add a d10 to that one. So it's an 18. And last one.
Ruto rolls a 21.
See. Oh,
And another
still
21.
mediocre. So my friends definitely have better peepers in their head than I have, because...
And then a natural 1.
Okay.
And she rolled a 22.
Sand in the eye, like, ugh.
And still a 14. So between the 3 of you, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. And it is actually Ruto who finds it. And he says, "Milady, I think I have found your trinket." And he runs over, and he hands it to the person, the woman, and she and he puts it into her hand, because obviously she can't see, and she feels it with her fingers, and she says, "Oh, thank you so much, kind sir. Zahira the Sand Reader will be in your debt forever. Please tell me, where are you headed?" And she looks at you, at the 3 of you.
Lyra again crosses her arms and looks at Min.
Min looks at the woman and says, "It's a bit difficult. We can't really say. We're on a mission." And the woman nods and says, "The desert is vast. It's easy to get lost.
We have to return something to the desert. We just don't know where.
Well, beware of false images."
Do you know of the history of this? Was it water once? Long time ago.
Not so long ago. 20 years ago, this was a vast ocean called the Southern Sea. It's dried up. For she who guards it has died.
Do you know where she died?
I don't know where she died. I know she's buried here. No one can get to her. She's guarded.
Do you know where or what is guarding her? Because she's not dead.
Then you know more than I do.
Well, you know that there is guards.
Well, I believe she is dead.
Do you know if we go on south, we will meet the guards? Or do we turn another way?
In order to find her, you must negotiate 3 parts of this desert. I can help you with 1. Remember this. You look, you slash, and you fly like a bird. That will get you across.
Thank you. Do you maybe need some water? That's the only thing we can offer as thank you.
You have found my talisman, and all deserts have water. You just need to know how to find it. May you be successful, and may the sands not swallow you whole.
Thank you.
And she picks up the pace, and now that she has her trinket, her talisman, she actually walks really quickly, very determinedly, and also in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
One wouldn't see that she's blind by looking at her walking.
Okay.
And Min turns towards you and she says, "See, that wasn't so bad."
It was not weird, but well.
Why was it weird? She was looking for something. She was helping us.
No, the sentence she gave us.
I'm pretty sure it will make sense when we come to wherever this is.
I am curious to it. And the guards are not surprising, as we know everything is guarded.
So, do you keep walking?
Yes, and we will stay south, because we didn't hear anything different.
Okay. So, after a while, couple of hours, you suddenly see dunes before you. And while you're used to dunes, these are somehow special. Make a perception check, please.
I will use a luck to reroll.
Yeah.
That is much better.
You notice that they seem to be coming and going. So they seem to be all around you, and then they seem to go away again. So where you used to be, where they used to be, there are suddenly none. And also another thing happens. Your footprints have been swallowed. You are just surrounded by ever-shifting dunes.
That is not great.
Make another perception check, please. Very good. As you're watching the dunes shimmer into and out of existence. They're very iridescent. This is really strange. You notice that about 3 feet away from you, the sand has shifted, and you see that there's a kind of like a tablet lying there, and it's inscribed.
I will carefully touch it with the edge of my quarterstaff to see if it's real, because she also said something, beware of illusions or imagination or something like that. Mm-hmm. And see if anything happens when something touches it.
Mm-hmm. Nothing happens. It is real, and it's inscribed.
I'll carefully pick it up and see if I can read it.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
It says, "You've heard me before, yet you hear me again. Then I die till you call me again. What am I?"
Oh God. I need to hear that again. What?
Will I just post it?
If you have it written down, yes, please.
I do.
Because that sounds like a riddle and a little bit of thinking.
I'm gonna put it into the chat.
Which I like, but I already warn you, I'm really bad at these.
This is why you should talk to NPCs. I'm just saying. Okay, I'll read it one more time for the stream.
No, yeah, for the stream.
"You've heard me before, yet you hear me again. Then I die till you call me again. What am I?" Lyra looks at you and she says, "What does it say?"
You can't read it? I will hold it to her clearly that she can see it.
I can't read your script.
And I will just read what I hear there. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's an echo?
As you say the word echo, suddenly the shimmering stops immediately, and before you opens a path, a clear path that snakes between sand dunes, but is absolutely clearly marked as a path.
I guess that's the way to go. Let's hope it's not the illusion we should not trust that part of what Saheera said.
Well, I think the illusions were the ever-shifting dunes.
Let's hope so. Well, give it a try. Can't get worse. Well, please don't kick me if I say that ever again. It can get worse. I'm sorry.
Milady, this was a miracle. No. And so quickly solved.
It's just magic. Not a miracle. You know magic.
Well, yes, he is very magical. He's fae.
I will place carefully the tablet in the sand again, and then we start walking.
Min pats you on the shoulder and says, "Well done."
It was just a guess.
Well, to be quite honest, I was not able to guess it. And I
was really it sounds like something with voice, and so it was just a rough idea.
Well done anyway. Can I ask you to take inspiration?
Is a good stat for Lyra.
Mm-hmm. Please give yourself inspiration for this one, because that was really because I was also thinking about what kind of hints can I give you, and I had something that I thought might work. But I didn't even need to do that. That's the best. I mean, that's the best. I'm so proud. That was really, really well done.
You will carefully make way, and just at least Lyra will keep a close eye on if anything shifts and moves still, or if the way stays basically as clear
Please
as it
make
has been when we
please make
started.
a navigation check, but this time with advantage.
Okay, let's do it. So navigation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 19. That's brilliant. You are absolutely sure that this leads due south.
Okay,
This this path leads due south.
it's the right direction. So let's go.
So you keep moving,
Yep.
and you can now make a perception check.
I see nothing.
Okay.
Sand. There's a lot of sand.
But Lyra sees more, and she says, if I'm not mistaken, it seems like there's a building.
Where? I don't see anything.
Just straight ahead. I mean, let's see what Ruto sees. I'm not sure, but she could be right. Milady, it does look like there may be some kind of structure.
Well, then let's keep on moving and see what it is.
You keep moving. Mm-hmm. And now it's coming into focus as well. It looks like there is a building. Mm-hmm. Which looks a little bit like a Greek temple. So with like the portico and the columns. And as you approach, suddenly you feel tremors in the earth. And out of the sand, a huge muscular body with a huge maw rises. Roll initiative.
Sandworm!
Sandworm, indeed.
Or purple worm, depending on which, but yay! I wasn't scared of that.
Okay,
But
so
it belongs in the desert. It would be very wrong if, oh god,
Ruto
we would
has
not have that.
10.
I have a 9.
Okay, then Lyra comes after Ruto. Let's see what Min does. Min has a 10. So she's tied with Ruto, and they both have a +4. So 1, 2, 3. Ruto goes first. 2, so Ruto, then Min. And let's see what our friend, the sandworm, does.
Min has the 10?
Yep, so they both have a 10, but he
Okay.
goes first. And then we have a 1d20 plus 2.
Can, as a free action, I yell at them, stay back so I can do spell?
Sure.
Just to warn them, because I don't wanna kill them.
Okay, in this case, you say that out loud.
Yes.
And actually, Ruto is first. He says, "Of course, milady, I will defer to your command any day." And he holds
will
his
hold
actions.
action.
And Min does as well, so it's your turn.
How far? The first question is, how far away is that thing?
It is super close to you. It has actually reared up right in front of you. I would say maybe 10 feet.
Okay, I will place my fireball like behind it, because it's a 20-foot radius, so it's not killing us, but that it's basically getting the whole thing of it, because it has 150 feet range but 20-foot radius.
Okay, so you basically place it so that it goes off beyond your friends. Yeah, no problem at all. You can do that. Okay.
Okay, and no, it's level 3. I can't do higher. So it needs to do a DC 15 dexterity save, and that was a horrible roll.
A dexterity save.
Yes. Oh god, that was a really horrible roll, but okay. it is like it is.
Sorry, what was the DC? 15? Oh, it
15.
rolled a 6.
So
well, I mean, I would say that this is, I would even give it disadvantage on this because it is so huge.
Yeah.
Actually moving out of the way, I will give it a disadvantage because it might roll a 1. I'm just doing it, but it's definitely, yeah, well, a 2 now, so a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it can't move out of the way.
It's still very weak, 26 points of fire damage. That
Okay,
was a very
but still,
poor roll.
Still, it takes full damage because you can see it gets hit smack. Yeah.
Okay, that's, let me just, yeah, that's all. Thank you, you go.
Ruto will actually take out his bow and he's gonna use it for a ranged attack. And on a... On a 13, the thing is he does hit, and you can also see that the arrow hits, but it basically falls off. Yeah, so off the scales. So then it's Lyra. Lyra closes the distance, and that's number 1. So she takes the dash action. No, she takes the normal. She walks. She runs towards it, and then she does the unarmed strike, which she can do twice. She has 2 attacks. On a 13, she is ineffectual, and on a 26, she does hit, and she does 9 points of damage. And then she uses her flurry of blows. I wonder if this... No, I think it's too big to be stunned. Yeah, so she's gonna take 1 focus point and she's going to take another 2 attacks. 10 doesn't hit. 21 does hit. And she does 10 points of damage.
When I need to remember, if we put someone down to 0 hit points, I gain temporary hit points. I should remember that now that I see it.
Retroactively, even it would have been too long ago for you to still
Yeah,
get
for
them
now,
from the marrow, right? Because they go away after. I was just wondering,
exactly.
they go away after
after a long rest usually. It doesn't say specifically, but it would make sense after long rest to disappear. But for me next time, so like in case, hopefully we might hear. You never know. So
the sandworm now tries to attack Lynn. Myra, Min, and he does on a 27, and he does...
No.
He bites her, and he does 10 points of piercing damage. Now, she is going to take her reaction and do the wholeness of body thing. No, sorry, she's not doing that. She's going to take deflect attacks. She rolls a 10, which means she reduces all to 0. And she is going to expend 1 focus die, and she's going to try and inflict damage onto the attacker. Oh god. 8 plus wisdom proficiency. It doesn't have proficiency, but it does have wisdom. Okay. So it's 1d20. Straight. That's a natural 20. It worked. It didn't work. So basically, she didn't give the damage back to it, and then it tail slams her, and on a 20, it hits again, and it does 9 points of damage, which she does take. Okay. So, and now it is your turn. No, it's Ruto again, sorry.
It's Ruto, yep.
So we're gonna roll 1d20. No, that's a d12. And on a 16, he does not hit. It is Min. Okay, so first of all, unarmed strike, 2 attacks. 1 that hits. 10. Good. Another strike. Natural 1. It means she cannot actually do the flurry of blows. So it is your turn, Lyra.
I will try and see if Eldritch Blast does anything to it. So number 1, a 22 with 12 force damage, and number 2 with a natural 1 goes completely past it.
Okay, so that did hit. And the sandworm tries to attack Min with a bite. And on a 25, it hits. And it does 19 points of damage, which she is going to try and deflect. 15, so she takes 4 points of damage. And now it body slams into her with its tail. Natural 20. Okay, so...
God.
That's gonna hurt. That's 14. That's 28. She is down to 1 hit point and she is knocked prone. Ruto runs towards the worm and attacks with his longsword. And he does not hit. Min gets up. That's her action. Yeah, that's her action. And
getting up is her action?
yeah, well, it does have to consume some.
Getting up usually is half movement.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, so she moves and she gets up. Then she uses her bonus action to do wholeness of body. And she gets 10 points back. So she's now at 11 hit points. And she will and she will attack once. 11, that doesn't hit. 9 doesn't hit either. Now I have a question around lucky.
Yeah.
It says here 2 luck points restorable at long rest allows me to gain advantage on any d20 roll. Well, we have said that it means you can re-roll if you decide instead of getting advantage.
Yep.
But it also says allows me to give an opponent disadvantage on an attack roll against me. Does this mean I could say if the other person rolls an attack and successfully, so I can ask them to roll again and then they have to take the second one? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Correct.
Okay, so that was Min. Lyra.
I will use my movement to run up next to Min.
I'm such an idiot.
Why?
I'm sorry. She was flanking with Ruto. So the first one would have been
the first one would have hit.
Would have been a. Can I just do this still?
Yeah, sure.
8 points. Well, better than nothing.
So I will stand next to her, hand on her shoulder, and she will get hit points back. It's still 3d4, not much, but better than nothing. 8
Wow, that's super.
hit points back. And I will use my bonus action, Misty Step, to get 30 feet back.
Okay, super. Cool. Then
That's-
it's the sandworm.
Yes.
The sandworm attacks Lyra. So first of all, 1d20 plus 8. On a 12, it doesn't hit. It rolls one more time. Natural 20. I'm gonna use a luck point and I'm gonna force it to re-roll. That's a dirty 20. That's better though. Could have been worse.
Still hope it doesn't do too much damage.
Yeah. That's 13 points, which we're going to try and deflect. We almost make it. We take 1 hit point. It's better than nothing. Let me just check one thing. Okay, then it is Ruto. Ruto takes out his sword. And on a 13 he doesn't hit. Oh no, he gets advantage. And on a 15 he still doesn't hit. So now it's Min. And Min goes all out. Unarmed strike once. 17 because of advantage hits. She does 9 points of damage. She goes the second time. 27, she rolled a natural 20 with advantage, so that's good. Which means she does 13 points of damage. And then she uses her bonus action, Flurry of Blows, expending 1 focus point. And she does 2 more attacks. 16 doesn't hit. 18 does. And that's still 5 points. It's you. Your turn.
Okay, I will use the magic missile wand, and I'm just trying to make, so we have one that has already 3 in, and for each level I add, I get 1 more dart, so we will have, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 8 darts will hit the thing, so it's 8d4 plus 8. I will just roll 8. Oh, I can't roll 8. I will roll 6. Plus 2 plus
23.
8. And 8 on top of that. So 23, so
31.
31 force damage.
It is badly hit. Badly hit. So now,
Yeah, that's all I can do.
we believe that creatures are not necessarily stupid enough to just get slaughtered.
Also, I would move up, just before, I would move up next to Min and Roto.
Okay,
Roto.
can you
It's
do
root.
me a favor and can you roll intimidation for me, please?
Yep.
Ja, hallo Mäuslein.
And I can add a d10 to that. Wait, d10.
Okay, so you roll 26.
It's 26.
It rolled a 12 on its wisdom save.
So I would walk towards Min just in a steady step and just yell at it.
And
Flee or die.
it is badly hurt. It's now down to 9 hit points, and I do not think it's a beast. It's not a supernatural creature. It'll actually burrow. And unbelievably quickly, this huge body sinks in. It basically dives into the dunes head first, and its body follows, and it just basically buries itself. And you can feel tremors as it's moving, and then the tremors become less and less pronounced, and then it just fades away.
What the hell was
that? Honestly, we don't have those. At least not that I know of. I mean, we have the scorpions, yes, but that was new.
Should we take a short, at least a minute? Not sure if we should take rather... No, it's bad.
She will do one wholeness of body as the last round.
A minute
10.
to get one spells back. I think a minute of pause is okay. That shouldn't be too horrible.
Well, she will actually really sink into a meditation, and she gets 10 hit points back, and you can both take a short rest. If you want to, you can expend hit dice.
I didn't lose a single point.
Okay, in that case. Okay.
But then I don't take the minute, because then I get my spells back anyhow. So then we do a short rest, and I get my 2 spell points.
So if you took a minute, you would also get them back? So you have an ultra short minute?
I can take 1 minute to focus and get 1 slot back.
Okay.
And I can do it once per long rest. I will not do that because I don't have to. I will just do short rest and get my 2 spells back.
Because I mean, a short rest is what, like an hour max?
Yeah, I think an hour.
Yeah, but I think it's important because I also believe that, you know, she needs to bind her wounds because she is bleeding. So she's also going to give herself some medical attention. And then...
It's the question, does she also roll hit die to get full again?
Well, why not? She's going to roll 2 hit dice.
That's why short rest makes sense for her.
Okay, so she's going to roll 2 hit dice. Oh, great. 5 points. She's going to roll 1 more. 11. Well, so she can get half of those back at her next long rest. Yeah. Okay. Good. So she says, "All right, shall we try?"
Yes. Let's move on towards that building.
You arrive at the building, and it has a huge gate, which is made of sandstone. You can't see a lock. You can't see a handle. What you can see are tiles that have symbols on them. They look like animal engravings of animals. There are 6 tiles in total. One is a sandworm. One is a scorpion. One is a bird of prey. One is it looks like a cat-like creature, rather big, and it has like a paw raised, and you can see very long, razor-sharp claws. It's some kind of, well, it looks like a giant cat. And then you can also see a... You can also see a frog. And you can also see something that looks like a mouse, but with a very, very long nose. And it's got really huge eyes.
Okay. So we are standing in front of a gate, so it's a wall and behind it, or and it's completely closed. We can't look.
Well, it's like
through
the door to the temple.
Okay, it's door.
Yeah.
I will just use a quarterstaff and she would just press the bird of prey tile and see what happens.
You take 1d4 poison damage as a dart flies towards you and hits you.
Yeah, then roll 1d4. I'm not rolling for my own damage.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Make a constitution save against 12.
I am so poisoned.
You are so poisoned.
Okay, so poison was disadvantage on attacks? Not sure. I will never learn what poison does. Poisoned. Let me double check. Condition poisoned. Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay, how bad? So, what do you do?
She said fly. It's not fly.
Make an intelligence roll. She said, you look, you slash, you fly like a bird.
Oh, we looked first and found a tablet. We slashed and killed almost a thingy. And then we fly? Question mark.
Okay.
That
Yes,
was my thinking behind that.
I can see. Remove your inspiration, please.
Okay.
The door opens. It is dark inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's like when a room has been closed for a very, very long time, so the spent air escapes. It's very dusty. The air smells really stale. Do you go inside?
I will cast light on my quarterstaff and I will send my mage hand carrying the quarterstaff in first, just that it brings some light in.
How far does it go? How far can it move away from yourself?
30 feet.
Okay. Well, what you can see is it basically, it seems like it's a huge structure. It's a huge, probably empty room as far as 30 feet go. Mm-hmm. It's tall. It's a tall building. It's long. It's wide. It seems empty.
Should we call?
Well, I think this is where we need to go.
Maybe someone is there? Excuse me? Anyone there?
She looks at you incredulously. When somebody approaches us and tries to help us, you treat them like they are a leper. But when you don't see anything and we are probably going to encounter more guards, you just talk.
Well, if I want to encounter them, it's here where I can see and not inside there where I'm trapped.
She throws up her hands.
And I think I would have the mage hand, like, use the quarterstaff to, like, 1, 2, 3 pound on the floor. And then the mage hand will just hover and wait, holding the staff.
Mm-hmm. At that moment, something comes out. It doesn't quite say Imhotep, but it's quite close.
Mm-hmm.
You see a mummy guardian, swaddled in wrappings. Please roll initiative.
We don't like this.
We love this. Hey, I worked hard.
Yeah, I know. Initiative. 19.
What is your deck score?
2.
Okay, so Ruto goes first because he rolls a 19 plus 4. And he's at a plus 4. Then comes Lyra. Let's see where Min stands in all of this. She rolls a 16. So. And Ruto takes out his bow and he shoots. That's a 14. And the arrow hits and is sticking in the wrappings, but it doesn't seem to have any impact whatsoever. Lyra looks at you and she says, "Do you want me to hang back?"
Hope Min, but yeah, we will learn who is each one day. One day.
Sorry, my mistake.
We were just. I like the idea of Lynn because it's just both of us. It just includes both of us. No, go ahead. I can't do fire. My quarterstaff will burn.
That's true. She runs towards him, so that's her movement. Then she hits once. 22, that hits, and twice. 16 doesn't, so she does 1 damage roll. And then she expends 1. Oh, let me check. She has this weird thing. Let me just check one thing. She has this. When you roll initiative, you can regain all spent focus points. When you do so, roll your martial arts die. Okay, she can do this once per long rest. She is going to do this. So she first of all resets these to 6. And she also gets to roll her martial arts die. And she gets back hit points.
Nice.
Oh, yes. And that's a 1d8. Give me a d8. Give me 3. Still, she's back to full.
That's good.
So now she's going to expend one of those focus points, and she is going to attack twice more with the infamous flurry of blows. 24 hits, 9 doesn't. So she's gonna do this. 7 points. Still. And now it is, you should have gone before me, actually. Sorry. Lyra.
No worries. I just see that the whole time my RAM set had the wrong stats in.
Why?
It's just a +7, not a +10. I'm not allowed to add proficiency on top of that. It doesn't make sense because it's not a weapon. I'll put it back to +7 where it belongs.
Okay.
If I run next to my quarterstaff and grab it, do I still have at least like 5 or 10 feet distance to the mummy thing, or would I stand right next to it?
You can run in such a way that you're not standing right next to it.
Okay, because I just wanna have my quarterstaff, and then it will be Eldritch Blast in the face to the thing. 13 will probably not hit.
Nope.
Can I use a luck to reroll?
Absolutely.
No, not happening. Oh, I have disadvantage anyhow. Darn it.
Oh, yes, you do, don't you?
Yeah.
So it's the mummy. So the mummy's gonna attack Lyra. Let's see what happens. "24, that hits. So, first of all, she takes 2d6 plus 3 bludgeoning. That's 13 points. 3d6 necrotic. That's 7 points, so that's 20 in total. She needs to, well, first of all, she needs to see if she can deflect this. Okay, so she only takes 6, but she still needs to make a con save. And she fails, and she is cursed.
That is not good.
That's a weird curse. Okay, I'll take it. And it will also take a bonus action and cast Sandstorm Cloak, which means it's now surrounded by a swirling cloak of sand, which means that everybody who takes a shot at it, a ranged attack, has a disadvantage. Okay, then it is Ruto. Ruto, of course, doesn't know anything, so he's going to use his short bow. 1d6, 1d20 plus 6, that's but he gets disadvantage, so he doesn't hit, but just barely. And then it is Lyra, and she is going to...
No, it's Lyra, and then I am going to.
Sorry, it's you. Sorry, Lyra, it's you.
I will step forward a bit. I will try to angle my cone of fire that it's not touching Min. It will be hot in her face, but not burn her. And I will do Burning Hands. It's a 15-foot cone. And why is it not letting me... Wait. Let me see. When you cast a spell, second level higher, it increases to... Okay, I will do extra damage because I will cast a level 3. But it first of all needs to do a dexterity saving throw against 15.
On a 12, it doesn't.
Okay. This is so... I need to rework what Roll20 has in there. So 3d6 already, and a d6, 2d6 on top of that. Ooh, so 22 fire damage for the mummy, and I hope fire is something that it does not like.
Well, actually, you see that its wrappings are starting to disintegrate in the fire, so this is definitely not a good thing for it.
Okay.
So now it's Min. Is it
and
burning
I'm standing
now?
like... Let me see. Each creature... The fire ignites any flammable objects in the area that are not being worn or carried. So no.
Okay, so it's good because
decision.
otherwise using her hands would be a bit problematic. So she's going to use unarmed strike once, twice. She's not flanking, so the first one is a hit. And she does 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And then she uses 1 focus point, and she's going to do flurry of blows. 14 is not a hit. 12 isn't either. And then it is the mummy, and the mummy is going to attack Min for 19, which is a hit. 2d6 plus 3, 13, and then, so that's 13 plus 8, that's 21. So now we're going to, again, we're going to try and do deflect attacks. We reduce it by 11. And now she needs to, well, she's cursed already, so that doesn't make any difference. Okay, so then it's Ruto again. Ruto will still use his bow, because he doesn't know. And he also thinks it's not a good idea to stand next to this swirly thing. And he doesn't hit, so now it's Lyra. You.
I will do exactly the same thing again, and let's see if this time it asks me. No, it does not. Why should it? This is so stupid. 2d6 on top of that.
And a dex save with a 4
a dex save.
that fails.
Okay, so then it's 12 foot of fire, 12 fire damage.
Okay. And then it is Min again. So
and I would step next to Min. To give her advantage on attacks.
Brilliant. Okay, so
flanking.
first of all, she's going to do unarmed strike.
And
19 hits.
He has now 2 to try to hit.
Sorry, say again.
Now he has a different point to hit as well, that she doesn't have
Oh,
to
I see
take
what you mean.
all the
Okay.
damage.
So that was the first one. That was a hit. 26 is also a hit. And that's 10. And then she expends 1 focus point to do flurry of blows. She attacks 1 more time. On a natural 20, very good. 15 points, and it goes down. Let's see. Okay, so that's 15 plus 5, that would be 20. So let's see. And it drops dead. So it basically falls apart. All of its bandages fall apart, and the body disintegrates to dust.
Nice. So I get back. Oh, I need to change that. I get back. Wait. Charisma mod plus warlock level 6. 10 hit 10. I gain 10 temporary hit points.
Very good. She does
I'll
her
take
wholeness
that.
of body, and she gets back 35. She gets back up to 35. And then you are still standing outside of the building. What do you do?
How is everybody feeling?
Milady, I'm fine, although I think I was ineffectual.
I think shooting arrow did not help. Give me just.
Yes.
And now Min will
rub it
take
in.
her
It didn't
one.
help.
Lyra will now take her 1 minute of focusing to get 1 spell slot back. Should we go in?
Do let's. So the 4 of you.
Yeah,
Go
still
in.
light on the quarterstaff so we can see without problems, and we will just walk in.
You are inside, and you see that there is a sarcophagus at the far end. As you approach, you see that it's been carved out of... Now I have to check. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
Okay, you've got to be kidding me. But okay, and it is definitely carved from Meerschaum.
Okay.
And you can see that it's a seascape with roiling clouds and waves crashing, lightning coming down, a huge ocean.
Oh, look at Min. Should we just try to put the heart on it before we try opening it?
Well, we can try.
Yeah, because it feels wrong to open. I will take out the heart and we'll place it in the middle on top of it and see if something happens.
Nothing happens.
Annoying.
Min
Sigh from Lyra.
Min takes the heart and says, okay, hold the heart. I'm going to open the sarcophagus.
Okay.
She opens the
We can use
sarcophagus.
the mage hand to open it and we don't have to touch it.
Too late. She's already put both hands on it and she's pushing it and it's basically moving sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And inside, you see a beautiful woman with greenish blue hair that is almost like algae, in a blue dress that looks like the deepest, darkest ocean on a very dark day. It's really midnight blue. And she has her hands crossed like so. What do you do? She looks like she's sleeping, by the way. She doesn't seem to be affected by anything. She looks like she's sleeping.
I will probably more whispered and loudly say, I'm sorry that we have to wake you up, but we will need your help. And I will place the heart basically when you have the cross here, like here, just on top of the hands. And just hope and see if something happens.
The heart begins to literally sink into the body.
Okay.
And vanish without a trace. And she opens her eyes. And she sits up like with a gasp. And she looks around and she's very disoriented. And she says, what? What's going on? Where am I?
Back. Was it Arethusa? Did I write it down?
Arethusa, yes.
Welcome back. I'm sorry we have
Who are you? You. Is it you?
No. She's still somewhere stuck.
You look just like her.
I heard that before. You're the third one we could wake. She's the last one missing.
So then who are you?
My name is Lyra, and this is Min, and this is Rutu, and this is Darling.
But you are a daughter, aren't you?
I am afraid so. But I'm glad we could find you.
How long have I been sleeping? What's happened?
Well, the one you tried to fight took over the land and now has a buddy coming for him to help him grow stronger.
Make a perception check.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
We perceive Darling going through. Hello, Darling. I know it's time for attention. It's already long.
We're not eating the microphone, little one. We're not eating the microphone.
But it's time for late night snacks.
It is time for a late night snack, but we will finish the session first. She gets up, lifts herself out of the sarcophagus, and she says, "I'm afraid you will have to leave." Make another perception check.
Is it perception, or do we try to read her? Because then it's inside.
No, it's a perception check. Well, you can read her, and she's
Well, she's angry. Perception
No,
is a 20.
no. She's not angry at all, but she's like concerned, and you can tell she's not angry. You smell something. You smell, and you know this because you used to live in a city by the sea. You smell the sea.
Okay.
You smell water. You feel the salt on your lips. She says,
Will you
"The
be
waters are
okay?
coming." "Yes, I live here."
The question is, do you have an idea where we can find my mother? Because no one knows.
She stretches out her hands to the two of you. "Come with me."
I will make sure that I have Darling and just point to Min that she should take the little mouse.
He's not that little. He's about
know.
1 meter tall. He's a
To
giant
still
mouse.
grab the mouse,
Yes.
and then Lyra will take her hand.
And she basically pulls you towards her, and everything around you starts to spiral almost out of control. And when everything is still again, you find yourself on an island surrounded by a really large ocean. He turned this whole place into a desert. He killed all the sea fish.
Yes.
It will take centuries for this ocean to be repopulated. But that's beside the point. You need to find your mother, and you need to find her quickly. I can sense that he's doing something. He's killing many people.
I know. The question is, where's her heart? We need to start there.
She closes her eyes. I can sense the heart. I can send you there.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
And when you see her, give her my regards.
I will. But first, I'll probably kick her. But that's okay.
She cocks an eyebrow. Why would you kick your mother?
It's difficult.
I see. May the gods be with you.
And with you?
Again, you have this feeling like everything is spinning. And with this, we're going to close today's session. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Greetings to our patrons. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell button. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.